Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another heart-touching story that will remind you why kindness and justice always shine through. Today's story is one that will break your heart, make you cry, and in the end, restore your faith in humanity. So sit back, because you are about to witness a story of a little girl, her cruel stepmother, and a moment that changed everything when a millionaire walked in and yelled at the cruelty unfolding before his very eyes. Once upon a time in a small but beautiful neighborhood, there lived a little girl named Emma. Emma was just 8 years old, with sparkling blue eyes and curly golden hair that bounced when she laughed. She had once been the happiest child, but things had changed drastically after her mother passed away. Her father, unable to bear loneliness, remarried quickly, hoping to bring stability to the house. But instead of stability, darkness arrived in the form of her stepmother, Clara. Clara was outwardly charming to the neighbors and acquaintances. She dressed elegantly, spoke softly when people were around, and always pretended to be the perfect wife. But behind closed doors, she revealed her true colors. To her, Emma was not a child to be loved and nurtured, but a burden, an inconvenience, and a reminder of her husband's past. Clara's cruelty toward Emma was subtle at first, a cold glare here, a dismissive tone there. But as time passed, her behavior grew harsher and crueler. Emma longed for the warmth of her real mother, the bedtime stories, the gentle hugs, and the laughter that once filled the house. Now, the house echoed with scolding, cold orders, and the silence of her father who always seemed too busy with work to notice what was happening inside his own home. One morning, Emma woke up with excitement. It was a Sunday, and her father had promised her the night before that he would take her to the park after breakfast. Emma quickly washed her face, tied her hair in 2 neat braids, and skipped into the kitchen. She had been saving a small bottle of orange juice her father had bought for her a few days earlier. Orange juice was her favorite, and she cherished it as if it were liquid gold because Clara rarely let her have treats. She placed the bottle carefully on the table, ready to pour herself a small glass while waiting for her father. But just then, Clara walked in. She noticed the orange juice, her eyes narrowing instantly. With a voice dripping with disdain, she asked, "And where do you think you're going with that?" Emma hesitated, clutching the bottle close. It's mine. Daddy bought it for me. I just wanted a little before we go to the park." Clara smirked coldly, snatching the bottle from her hands. "You don't need this. You already have too much. Spoiled little brats don't deserve such things." Emma's eyes filled with tears. She reached out with her tiny hands, begging softly, "Please, stepmom, please don't take it. It's mine. Daddy said I could have it. Just one glass, please." But Clara's heart was made of stone. Without hesitation, she walked to the sink, opened the bottle, and poured the orange juice down the drain. The golden liquid swirled and disappeared while Emma's eyes widened in horror. "No!" Emma screamed, her small voice trembling with sorrow. She rushed forward, trying to grab the bottle, but Clara pushed her away harshly. Emma fell to her knees, sobbing uncontrollably. Her small frame shook with every cry. "Please, why are you so mean to me? I didn't do anything. I just wanted a little juice." Her voice cracked, and she buried her face in her hands. Clara folded her arms and looked down at her with an evil satisfaction. "Because you don't deserve it. Learn your place, Emma. You're nothing in this house. Nothing." Emma's sobs grew louder, echoing through the walls. She kept begging, "Please, don't be so cruel. Please." And that was the exact moment fate intervened. Unbeknownst to Clara, someone had entered the house. A tall man with a commanding presence stood at the doorway, his expensive suit perfectly tailored, his face showing shock and anger at the scene he had just walked into. This was Mr. Donovan, a millionaire entrepreneur and a close friend of Emma's late mother. He had come by to visit Emma's father, but what he saw instead froze his heart. The little girl on the floor, crying as if her world had ended, and the cruel stepmother standing above her like a tyrant, it was a sight that made his blood boil. "What on earth is going on here?" Mr. Donovan's voice thundered through the house. Clara turned around, startled. She stammered, "Oh, Mr. Donovan, I didn't hear you come in." But Mr. Donovan wasn't interested in her excuses. His sharp eyes focused on Emma, who looked up with tear-streaked cheeks, her small hands trembling. His heart broke instantly. He rushed toward her, kneeling down to her level. "Emma, sweetheart, what happened? Why are you crying?" Emma tried to speak, but her sobs choked her words. She simply pointed at the sink, where the empty bottle lay, its contents washed away. She poured it all out," Emma whispered between sobs. It was mine, Daddy got it for me, but she wouldn't let me have even a little. Mr. Donovan's jaw tightened, his fists clenching in anger. He turned toward Clara, his voice like fire. How dare you treat this child like that? She's just a little girl. What kind of heartless woman are you? Clara tried to defend herself, her voice quivering. It's not what it looks like, she was being difficult, I was just teaching her a lesson. Teaching her a lesson, Mr. Donovan roared, by humiliating her, by making her beg for something that rightfully belongs to her. Shame on you. His voice shook the very air around them. Emma clung to Mr. Donovan's arm, her sobs slowly quieting as she felt the protection of someone who genuinely cared. For the first time in a long time, she felt safe. At that very moment, Emma's father entered the room, alarmed by the yelling. He froze in confusion, looking at the scene before him. What's going on here? He asked nervously. Mr. Donovan stood tall, his voice steady but filled with righteous anger. What's going on here is that your daughter is being mistreated in her own home. And you've been blind to it. Emma's father looked at his little girl, still trembling, and then at Clara, who was now sweating nervously. Is this true? He asked softly. Emma looked at him with pleading eyes, tears still streaming. Daddy, she's always mean to me. She doesn't let me eat properly, she yells at me, she breaks my toys, and now she poured out my juice. The one you gave me. The father's face paled as the weight of her words crushed him. He turned toward Clara, who avoided his gaze. Clara, he said, his voice trembling with both anger and shame. Is this true? Have you really been treating my daughter like this? Clara tried to protest, but Mr. Donovan cut her off sharply. Don't even try to lie. I saw it with my own eyes. I heard your words. You told her she was nothing. Nothing. Do you have any idea what kind of scars you're leaving on this child's heart? The father looked at Emma again, who clung to his leg now, begging softly, Daddy, please don't let her hurt me anymore. Something inside the father broke. He realized how blind he had been, how caught up in his own world he was, that he had failed to protect the most precious part of his life, his daughter. With a deep breath, he turned to Clara. Get out, he said firmly. Clara's eyes widened in shock. What? You can't mean that. I said get out, he shouted. You will never hurt my daughter again. Pack your things and leave this house immediately. Clara's face twisted in anger and fear, but she knew she had been exposed. Without another word, she stormed upstairs to gather her things. Mr. Donovan placed a gentle hand on Emma's shoulder, his voice soft now. It's okay, sweetheart, you're safe now. Nobody will hurt you again. Emma sniffled, looking up at him. Thank you for saving me. Her father knelt beside her, tears in his eyes. I'm so sorry, Emma. I should have protected you. I promise, from now on, I'll never let anyone treat you like that again. Emma hugged him tightly, feeling for the first time that her father truly understood her pain. And for once, her little heart felt a spark of hope. From that day onward, everything changed. Clara was gone, and Emma's father devoted himself fully to being the father she needed. Mr. Donovan often visited, bringing joy and laughter into Emma's life, almost like a guardian angel who had stepped in at the right moment. The memory of that cruel morning lingered, but it also became the turning point that saved Emma from a life of silent suffering. Because sometimes, it only takes one person, one voice raised in justice, to shatter cruelty and bring light where there was darkness. And that is why this story will always remind us, no matter how small or powerless someone may feel, kindness, courage, and truth will always find a way to win. So tell me, what did you feel when you heard Emma begging for her juice? Did it break your heart too? And how did you feel when Mr. Donovan burst in to protect her? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, because stories like these remind us all that the world still has people willing to fight for what's right. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories that touch your heart and make you believe in the power of kindness and justice.